Yo, Apexes, is the Apex Bobby here, and today I'm gonna tell you more about being a vegetarian. Let's get started. So yeah, you Apexes may be wondering, Apex Bobby, you became a vegetarian? I need that meat, I need that goo-goo. Like, what are you going? You can't just have that goo-goo without that meat. Well, how are you gonna be eating lentils and eggplant and tofu? Well, what you trying to do? So my answer to that is basically understanding that in the animal kingdom, right? All these animals that you be eating, like eat that goat, eat that chicken, eat that beef. All those animals are pretty much herbivores. And then if you think about it, those animals be eating the same stuff you eat, right? They eat that wheat, or they eat that rice, or they eat that grain. It's pretty much what you eat too. So what you're doing is that you're eating the animal, and the animal eats the stuff that you usually eat, like bread or wheat or some other kind of alfalfa, that kind of thing, right? And then you're eating the meat, and the meat has that, so it's like you're going through a middleman that you don't need to go to the middleman. Like, why do I need to tell this dude to take my bank account information and go to the bank if I can just go to the bank? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, I'm gonna tell you 3 reasons why you should go vegetarian, or at least hear my thoughts on why vegetarian is a good way to go. So let's get started on that. So if you think about it, the number 1 reason why people go vegetarian is honestly to understand that the meat that is on your plate came from an animal, right? That animal, you can't just pluck it off a tree. You can't just cut a branch. You have to take its whole life and take its flesh and put it on the plate. I know it's a bit morbid, but if you really think about it, that's pretty much how it is, right? And if you understand anything about what is the life, right, of life and death, you have to know that this animal, it was being raised. It ate food, drank water, pretty much like plants, right? But the thing about plants is that they're readily available. Like, if you really think about the biology of a plant, right? You got the plant, it grows. It grows out, has some flowers, right? You cut those flowers usually for like your bouquets or for that lovely girl you want, or a guy, you know, whatever works with you, right? But, you know, after the flowering stage, you get some fruit, right? Usually, let's think about something like an apple, right? So that fruit comes, that apple comes. You or Adam or someone, like, I don't know, like you pluck that apple, you'll be like, that's some good apple, right? So that kind of apple is gonna have some seeds in it, right? Just to make the analogy. So that apple has some seeds, and then those seeds, you know, they get dispersed, and then some more apple trees grow. So it's not like that plant is really dying, because that tree that made the apple is still there unless someone cuts it down, right? But then those seeds of the apple, if they're not genetically modified, are going to be making more. The thing about an animal is that they're in these closed spaces, and especially the concentration of milk that's being made in the country right now, it's not right. So they're forced. Apples and plants, they're not really as forced. Like, of course, they're genetically modified, of course. Like, remember, like, an apple used to be like this big, maybe, or a plum used to be like this big, and now it's like this big. But, you know, the thing about these animals, you don't need to eat them. If you can avoid everything. Like, if we were truly carnivores, not even going to go into the debate about omnivores and fugivores and all that kind of stuff, right? If we were truly carnivores, we would have to have meat in every daily life. Like, cats and dogs, they have to eat meat. Although dogs can be debatedly as omnivores, but that's a whole different story. But you never see us blend meat into a blender, right? We never drink meat. If you think about it, we drink fruits, we eat vegetables, we drink vegetables. Pretty much that whole concept of eating meat nowadays is obsolete. It's like, I'm gonna ride my horse through the highway. That doesn't make sense. I have a car. The car itself has horsepower. Why would I need to even mount a horse to ride it? You know, it's an old way. So if you think about it, all in all, you don't need meat. It's the pleasure of meat, the satisfaction of meat. That's what people enjoy, the flavor. But nowadays with the Beyond Meat, that's a whole thing, right? So number one reason why you should go vegetarian real quick is just you don't have to do it. You like at least avoid eating meat as so often, but culture and heritage is always going to be there. Meat is institutionalized in our systems, hunters and gatherers, right? So just food for thought, actually. So number two on going vegetarian. Honestly, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know that now I know being vegetarian. Like chickpeas, man, that hummus, oh my god, that's some good stuff, man. And then you got some chia seeds, and then you got quinoa, and then you got beans and tofu, and you got eggplant, and you got cauliflower. Man, there's so many different stuff. Like if you really think about it, you're like, damn, excuse my language, like damn, that's some good, right? So it's like you would be surprised on how many different stuff is out there that you can use, like jackfruit, and you can use like other kind of ingredients like pumpkin and squash. Like I never really thought about these, and now enjoying these flavors, you can enjoy the flavors more. Like I guess it was always there, but have you ever really ate that piece of carrot or that piece of garlic or onion and you're like, wow, this is the taste of it? Like, I don't know. For me, it expanded my taste buds. So now I'm enjoying food more by eating more fruits and vegetables. It's expanding my outlook compared to, oh, mujhe thoda sa chicken tikka chahiye, right? It's like, it expands everything, man. The gourmet sabzis, the baba ganoushas and stuff, the salads, man, it's a whole range. Wraps and tortillas and tacos, and there's a whole realm. So highly recommend it if you have some time. Just go into your grocery store or go to some type of places. Even something like a Taco Bell, man, the Supreme Crunch Wrap, just eat it, and your taste buds will go wild, honestly. So that's number two, just expanding your taste buds. You would be surprised how much that the meat clouds your judgment sometimes. So highly recommend it if you can look into that. Yeah. The last one, I'm not gonna go into the debate between vegetarian and vegan, but at least for me, right, when I switched from my normal habits into a vegetarian diet, I actually stopped drinking milk. So if you remember from my milk video, I even say that this milk is from a baby cow and all that kind of jive, right? So I switched my milk. I stopped eating eggs altogether unless, I have to eat eggs once in a while. And I just been cutting back on my meat, and, it happened after a couple of months. My weight, if you can tell, like, boy looks a little bit slimmer, right? Gotta suit up sooner or later, right? So like, you actually lose weight if you change your habits. Even cutting down your meat intake, like, it will take some time. But I was able to go down from 174 pounds down to 164, give or take pounds here and there, right? So you can actually lose weight by going this diet. The only thing is that you do have to worry about your vitamins and minerals, and I feel like that's for everybody, right? So the main two vitamins and minerals you have to really watch out for is iron, so that's Fe, iron, the periodic table iron, right? And number two is B12. So mostly leafy greens, beans, legumes, that kind of stuff can really give you the iron. And then for the B12, I highly recommend just getting a multivitamin, and just be careful with that too, right? For B12s and omega-3s, those you can get vitamin forms and minerals, but you can lose weight by going this diet, and it honestly doesn't take much effort. Like, of course, when meat is served, you gotta give respect to the people who make it. The problem with being vegetarian in some regards is that you're trying to be like, no thank you on the meat, but then the love, the secret ingredient of love that is being prepared into the meat is something that is genuine, right? It's like the fruit and vegetables, they're being made, and it's its own kind of biochemistry, but the love that people do when they're grilling meat, when they're cooking meat, when it's being served home style or from Chick-fil-A or whatever, like, there's a preparation of love sometimes in there, and that kind of ingredient is something you have to respect for. But you have to take things in stride. You can't just eat 5 chicken wings and then you're just gonna be like, oh, I'm good, that's it. Like, you have to moderate yourself. So it's honestly a day-to-day kind of thing. You have to just worry for and just be cognizant of. I highly recommend it. I'm going to put some articles down below on just some more insight on what is happening in the meat industry, and the whole COVID-19 and what's happening to the meat industry right now sort of shows you that these animals and these processing, it's not always the cleanest thing on your table, right? And you know, people have their own ways of preparing meat and stuff, but I highly recommend that y'all check out these articles that I'm going to link down below. And yeah, thanks for watching. Those are the 3 reasons why you should go vegetarian. I hope y'all learned something and maybe enjoy more of those different fruits and vegetables nowadays, instead of always thinking, oh no, I just need that big borti, that big thick, like, you have to know that there's other elements sometimes. So highly recommend that you look into that. Thanks for watching, guys. Apex out.